Okay, let's start with my presentation. But first of all, let me share you a small story about myself. Last week, I was planning to have dinner with my close friend at her apartment, but just like 10 minutes before our schedule, she called me and she said that I am at fault. Don't come over, just stay there. So for your information, F is a classified system in Vietnam that can show how much effect you are to COVID-19, where F0 is confirmed positive case. So in my friend's case, she needs like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 more levels to consider herself as a dangerous and infectious person to me and people around her. And then I decided to stay home and she limited her interaction since then. If you are Vietnamese, you are very familiar, you see it very normal. But if you're in, I mean, Italy or in Europe or other, like you are people from outside Vietnam, maybe you see it kind of overreaction. Overreaction is we call extreme but sensible measures taken by our government, and is then deliver well and have well rooted in the way that we behave. Vietnamese people behave like this, just now overreact. So as you can see here, as you can see here, this is masses 5K that we're too familiar in Vietnam. 5Ks mean like okay, face mask, disinfection, distancing, no gathering, and health declaration. And we are very familiar with 5K at the beginning time of COVID-19. As you can see, like it's health, right? At the end of the day, I feel so protected, I feel secure, and I'm happy that I can plan more on my visitors meeting like this. But like, can you see? Though recent development of COVID-19 in Vietnam is worsened, this afternoon there's around 4,200 plus cases in Vietnam we recorded, and mostly happened in the two industrial parks in the north, where the manufacturing facilities there, and the spread goes on. Though Vietnam currently is low equipped in vaccination, just like below 5% with limited resources. But if you are investors, if you're running a manufacturing facility here, you and your manpower are prioritized to get vaccinated. Yeah, that's one like 2 or 3 days ago, we're working with the management board from our Currently Industrial Park and the Da Nang High Tech Park. And at the end of the day, you feel safe, and you know that your manpower is safe, and your production is going on. So I can say Vietnam is safe and resilient by now. So now let's take a look on the insight into policy, infrastructures, and labor force in high-tech parks. In Vietnam, after 30 years of foreign direct investment, promotion activities, so the government don't want to make us a technology landfill or waste fund. So they decided that they need to encourage more highly value-added investment in high-tech industry. So the question is how to facilitate those investments in a more effective, quick, and transparent way. Let's say investment don't want to take years to complete, or they don't want to work with many different state agencies here and there. So the answer is that designated high-tech parks. So currently, Vietnam has 3 national high-tech parks, which are in Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon High-Tech Park, in Hanoi, Hoa Lạc High-Tech Park, and in Da Nang is Da Nang High-Tech Park. So I think the high-tech park definition is the same as so the high-tech park is a multi-function economic technical zone with defined boundary. Yes, so you can see like different zoning from R&D, research and development, training, incubation area, to high-tech processing zone where like manufacturing locates, and then residential area and bonded warehouses. And what is the difference between high-tech park versus industrial park? Actually, I'm from Long Ho, and we are a master developer and operator in a normal industrial park in Long An, close to Ho Chi Minh City. So we know very well the difference. Currently in Vietnam, there's over 400 industrial parks compared to just 3 high-tech parks. So of course, high-tech park, if your investments there, you can enjoy an optimal investment incentive, especially for manufacturing sector. So just 10% CIT, corporate income tax, compared to normal 20%, and up to 30 years. And another incentive and exemption for the whole project life later I can share with you. But if you want to get admitted into high-tech park, you need a certain required criteria. Let's say, for example, you have to be in the prioritized, like list of technology and products, and your certain revenue or capital fund invest in R&D on your human resources also. Before coming to introducing about Da Nang High-Tech Park, I'd like to share is that like 4 years ago, Long Ho Industrial Park, we are actually located to the south of Ho Chi Minh City, and over 50 years in this field, helping new investors to set up factories, warehouses in Vietnam, we realized that we need to extend. And where to extend? We can see the number of growing investor, but like more in light high-tech investor. So we decided, okay, Saigon, Da Nang, or Hanoi. So to be honest, Da Nang has the room to grow compared to Ho Chi Minh City or Hanoi, where they're already established manufacturing hub, and land also as a industrial real estate developer that we consider. So here in Da Nang, currently Da Nang has only 24 projects. 50% is the domestic one, and the other is FDI one, which is around 345 million USD. So the occupied rate of the land in Da Nang High-Tech Park is around 64%. And also that's for production. For logistic and high-tech services, 75%, R&D just 35%. So you can see here, if you want to join a high-tech industry in Vietnam, investment in Vietnam, you can look for R&D, research and development, and then the manufacturing things. So let's take a look on the list of prioritized investment sectors in Da Nang High-Tech Park. I like to see maybe I need to ask you some questions. Is there anyone in our audience here in ICT or computer software? Can you just press the button, raise hand, so I can easily see you? And maybe later we can come and talk. Yeah, it's good. New energies, nanotechnology, and new materials. Okay.
Vậy không?
Okay, next. Okay, maybe there's a distraction if I just try to learn more about our audience. Okay, there you can see the list, automation and precision mechanics, and so on. So this is the optimal investment incentives that Da Nang High Tech Park can offer to you. First, the CIT. Okay, normally if your investment is above 129 million USD, and you can enjoy the CIT up to 30 years. But normally when we working with small and medium-sized investment, normally they can enjoy 15 years. With a CIT of 10%, for the first 4 years, you can enjoy 0%. For the next 9 years, 5%, half of that, 50% of the CIT. And the next 2 years, 10%. And if you are the investor to lease the land, you can enjoy the land rental incentive. If you're manufacturing things, you can enjoy up to 30 years. If you're doing logistic, warehouse, or sports center investment, you enjoy 19 years. Or the other thing, construction and commercial operation of infrastructure, 15 years. One more things to add is that the import tax, very important to producer, manufacturing investor, that you can have exemption on goods to create the fixed access, like for the beginning of your investment, including your machinery, your components. So here you can see the Da Nang location. Yeah, people talking about the strategic, they accessible, they ideal because they're connecting to Asia via sea and airways. Normally, when your facility in the central of Vietnam, Da Nang there, you can easily to access to the north and to the south, and easily to become a distribution or manufacturing hub in the center of Vietnam. Later, I can get back to you on the transport connectivity in the later slide. Oh. Yes, Da Nang is one of the country top transport hub where you can easily to come and go by the air, by sea. We have an international airport, the container Tiên Sa Port, Da Nang railway station, and also the highway system. And for those who consider to invest your to set up your factories here, Da Nang High Tech Park has all the well-equipped infrastructure ready to serve the client. Let's say, for example, here I'm from the south, where Long Ho Industrial Park located, and we've been here for over 15 years, but I can see the very quick and fast development of those infrastructure to serve within 1 or 2 years. They have enough power supply, water supply, wastewater treatment, IT telecommunication, and very important thing is the ready-built factory for lease will be offered by us, by Long Ho. But later I can get back to you on this option. Yeah, take a look on the ready-built factory, which is the size is 500 to 2,000 square meter. ready to move in within 3 to 6 months. For the normal investment, for high-tech investment, maybe it can take you more than 6 months. Later, I can share with you more on the case study. Okay, then people when they decide to invest in the new place, our investor normally asks the same question. So how about the human resources? How about I can recruit, I can train people that can easily to start the work with us. So you can see that our workforce is currently total workforce is around 600,000 manpower, and the new influx of graduate every year is 25,000 people. One more thing is that the turnover rate is very low, which is less than 1%, because like, as you know, like people from the center of Vietnam, thanks to the harsh and unfavorable climate, they consider their personality seem to be more hardworking and loyal. If you consider your investment up to 5, 10, 20, or 50 years, you want your manpower stay long with you, and that's the things to be noticed. The other thing is that Da Nang has a reasonable labor cost compared to Ho Chi Minh City or Hanoi, which is like 10 to 25% cheaper than that. So yeah, some of our investors ask like, okay, the place that we invest, yeah, maybe they prefer big cities like Ho Chi Minh City or Saigon, Hanoi. But then they're asking, I just not come there for working, for investing, but also for living. And how about our family? How about our kids, where they can study, where they can play? So you know, Da Nang is one of the top 10 foreign most worth living places. Has a good harmony among the sea, the beaches, the river, the mountains, and no traffic jam, and the air is very clean and fresh, and very important, at a very affordable living cost. If you like the sea, it's just 15-minute drive to the sea. And the same thing applies to the airport or the city center. Oh, well, so I just complete the some sharing, some insight into Da Nang, infrastructure, into the labor force and policy for high-tech manufacturing. So the next question is that if you already like to invest in Vietnam, in Da Nang, and then you see that your production can be into the priorities list of technology. So what next? How can you start your investment? So for the next part, I would like to share more about the new investment model and implementation by sharing 2 case studies that we already work with in Da Nang High Tech Park. Okay, but first, let me share with you some more the key insight. Maybe many of you here quite familiar with China +1, right? So this means like just now, Mr. Hai already mentioned that some of the many investors, they want to diversify their investment outside of China. They choose another country to control the risk, in their supply chain. So back to 2012 or 2013, 9 years ago, there's many Japanese investors come to us to Long Ho Industrial Park, located in Ho Chi Minh City, and they tell us about the story. The Japanese investor, they go quite early than the trend China Plus One 9 years ago. And actually in 2012, we remember we received 12 Japanese investors in 1 year to set up their factory there. So year by year, we form a strong community of Japanese investors, which is now we have around 34 investors in Long Ho, Ho Chi Minh City branch. And that's the place that we find the new investor for Da Nang High-Tech Park. Because we have a strong relationship with existing investors, so they introduce us the two investors. And I want to share with you more about the case study. Let's first start with the first one. The first one is Niwa Family Corporation. They are Japanese, and when they come to Vietnam, actually they are not our client. They are client in Da Nang High-Tech Park. But let me take this example to share with you the difference in investment model. Their capital value is around 30 million, and they consider to lease the land to have their own production facility, which has the size length around 3.16 hectares. So it took them more than 4 years from the beginning of the investment, like a location search, and to complete and start the operation. 4 years. So in this case, normally the investor like Niwa Foundry, they should work directly with High-Tech Park Authority, and they have to apply for licenses and do all the land lease, construction permit, everything by them. So next is the case that we are helping Inaba. Inaba is also a Japanese investor, and following China Plus One trend, they has the consider a facility outside China. And then they have an issue in mind when they come to us, is that they don't want to invest too much money at the beginning time. Their strategy is like accept investment, and at the same time, they doesn't like a big, a large company like Niwa, the previous one. Normally, the large enterprise, they have an established team with different function. Inaba, they only send the team of 1 or 2 manpower at the beginning time to start their project. So they want the local partner to help them. So choose the location, work with the authority, deal with the legal stuff, and maybe more on the PR construction and recruiting manpower. That's the 2 reasons why they come to us and they ask us for help. As you can see in the capital value, it's just 5 million USD. And one more thing is that with 5 million USD, you don't want to spend money much on the land leasing. You want to focus on your key, activities, your operation, producing things. So there's some 2 things. Okay. Sorry, it's taking the drawing. Okay, next. So how we are going to set up their 5,000 plants in the high-tech park? The timeline for them is just around 11 months to run their manufacturing from the time that they set the first visit to us in Ho Chi Minh City, and then report them to Da Nang High Tech Park. And last year on February, we hand over the workshop for them. Normally, of course, we are support investor like EuroCham because we view the ready for lease factory, and then we're working directly with the authority, the state agency. So let's take a look at the procedure to set up a high-tech manufacturing. Okay, there's 3 stages. The first, investment registration. The second one is factory setup, and the last one is operation. I would like to focus more on the first and the second one because that's where we can offer our services, and then we can support our investors strongly. Okay, the key step here is that investment registration is very important for you to do a well preparation and submission, a technology evaluation, and those here of investment registration, IRC or ERC. And then, like planning your site visit to Da Nang High Tech Park, meet the management board in person, and make sure that you bring your key person, let's say the legal representative of the new investment in Vietnam. And if, okay, during COVID-19, you cannot travel, right? So make sure that you can have a well-prepared video showcasing all of your production, your technology in a well-prepared Vietnamese, like document, and in terms of the language, we can help you out. And then next, for the factory setup, you need a license application in fire safety, complete environmental assessment. That's a very important point for high-tech investment because at the end of the day, the management board, the authority, they want to see your investment is not highly value added, but also like friendly environmental. And then during that time, you can work with us for the factory construction and equipment installation. The last case is that operation. Also, when you come to the new place, you need to find and recruit a new, like a good workforce. Yeah. Then you can also work with our team to recruit the manpower. Okay, so this is the last line that I would like to share with you. Is that if you're like an Indaba investor, you consider yourself as small and medium size, you don't want to take many resources at the beginning part of your investment into a new country like Vietnam. Your team can contact with us, like let's say, okay, for our solution. One takeaway is that if your project is considered, okay, in terms of capital, if your project is 50 million per hectare, or if your capital is below 15 million per hectare, I mean, like we are talking about the efficiency of land use. That's one of the KPI that management board from Da Nang High Tech Park use to evaluate the qualified investment. Is that they consider per hectare. If you invest enough, like over 50 million, you invest more in the R&D, you can work with them directly, and you can consider the land lease option. But if you're small and medium size and you want to start quick, in less than 1 year, and while the local partner can support you, you can directly work with us. So that is the end of my presentation, and thank you for your listening. I'd like to have comments and like questions from you audience. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Huyền, for your very insightful and interesting presentation, and we are very looking forward to have more, let's say, a question in detail in the Q&A part of our audience and the participant today, in order to understand better about how to better invest in the high-tech industry park in Vietnam like this. And from the next speaker, I'd like to introduce you Mr. Trung Dang, who is the plant manager of Datalogic. Mr. Trung Dang has more than over 20 years of experience in automation, automatic data capture that have increased efficiency and quality process of retail, manufacturing, transport, logistics, and healthcare. And as I already mentioned, Mr. Trung Dang is the plant manager of Datalogic, the biggest and the only Italian investment in high tech in Vietnam. And as already throughout the year that providing consultancy, investment consultancy of the Italian chamber to the Italian company, we have made many questions and concern about from the Italian investor or foreigner investor of how is the process and how the journey of investing in Vietnam. What is the advantage, the disadvantage, the problem of everyday life, and the workforce, and especially in the high-tech manufacturing, this concern is even higher and bigger, because for investor from let's say European or part, they are not still well known about Vietnam as the high-tech manufacturing destination. So, Mr. Trung, I'd like to leave the floor to you to share your experience with your important presentation. So, Mr. Trung, please.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Hai. Hello, everyone, audience. Can you hear me? Hope so. Good. Okay, so let me share with you some slides I prepared for today. First, thanks to ICHAM for the invitation. Let me have a time to share our story to the audience, so to give you more information for you make decision to invest in Vietnam. Datalogic Vietnam. Just a moment, I'm going to share. Oh. I need to run 1 minute to take the battery charger. Okay, Hai, can you continue with the audience?
Yeah,
for
sure,
1 minute?
of course. Please,
sorry.
please. No, don't worry. So in the meantime, while we waiting for Mr. Trung, we also would like to remind you that for any question that you want to ask for our speaker today, please send a message directly to the chat section, and our team will have you to look at it in the Q&A session. Please feel free to raise the question, and also we also have some pool for the agree and disagree question, just to have it let's say integrate a little better about this document. Huyền, I'd like to ask you one question, just in the meantime. Would you agree that is it too soon to say Vietnam ready to become a high-tech country?
No. You know, as the person in the front line trying to promote investment flow into Vietnam, I like to say that is the right time for investor to, you know, like start their strategy, their plan to invest in Vietnam. Because to be honest, some sharing with you, we are also developing the part in the south, close to Ho Chi Minh City, and our occupy rate is now like 80% already. So we normally don't have much land for investor, you know, like because our strategy, as thanks to our strategic location close to Ho Chi Minh City, we attract a lot of inquiries, you know, investor. But to be honest, in terms of the land source, you need to go further, like go to the Da Nang or other provinces.
Sure, and as you already mentioned in your presentation that you know, setting up an investment in the high-tech park, the investor can benefit a lot of advantage. So is it easy or not easy for an electronic SME manufacturer to enter and enjoy the prestige of being in high-tech park?
You know, again, as the person trying to promote investment into Vietnam, I would like to say it's easy. Okay, to be honest, is take time. You know, you can see in the case of Inaba, it took around 6 months for their, you know, certificate application submission preparation. So the thing is that if you're outside of high-tech park, but yours is a high-tech enterprise, it takes you more time. But if you are located in high-tech park, you save you lesser time.
Great, thank you. And I already see that the Mr. Chung is already
I'm back
with us. Yes.
Sorry
Don't
everyone.
worry.
I before taking the webinar, I have full charge my laptop, but it's run now after 1 hour. Very very sorry that I need to replace my battery very soon. Okay, let me continue with my share today. Is Datalogic Vietnam. So as Mr. Hai mentioned, Datalogic Vietnam, we invested in Saigon Heritage Park 12 years ago. So we are only the Italian company here in the high-tech manufacturing. And today to join the webinar, we would like to share some information about our story during our investigation and investment and operation in Vietnam. Part of my presentation, I will have a very quick introduction of who we are in Datalogic in Vietnam. Then we share the case manufacturing, like the very similar Missing, say some case study in Da Nang Heritage Park. And what we do during the 12 years operation, we building up our resource and working environment to stay in industry. And our story in operational supply chain in high-tech manufacturing, what are the opportunities and challenges? And the last one, that's probably you know that we certified the AEO. We also call this priority enterprise. AEO stands for the Authorized Economic Operator. And what is this and what's advantages? Maybe interesting for the audience and the Q&A. So very quick about the Datalogic Vietnam. We established 12 years ago, and myself, I stayed with the company since the first year. The companies, we come to Saigon Heritage Park. We actually, the plan we are here, we rent from the one of the company already have in the Saigon Heritage Park. So we rent and we get the license of the investment in January 2009. And we believe it, we have a very first shipment export in June of the same year. So very short time, 6 months, we turn the begin building the factory. Actually, we installed the production, is train people, and we have already the first product shipping out. Business area, we invest in not only in the manufacturing, we put people in the R&D, and we have a sales for the local domestics also, and we have also the service repair support of customer in Vietnam. We work in the barcode scanner and industrial automation scanner. For 12 years, since 2009 to 2020, last year, the size of our business, we can see the export total volume is around 3.2 billion US dollars. Part of our, proud that the company, the plant now is a fully 100% operated by the Vietnam manager. We have no foreign expat here since 2015. We certify, that's a very standard ISO 9001 quality management system, 14001 environment present system, and 45001 this occupation, health and safety. And as I mentioned, we certify also the authorized economic operator since 2014, and we have already the 2 renewals every 3 years renewal. For the environment sustainable, we are proud to the very first company in the second high-tech park to have the full both the canteen operated by solar energy since 2019, and in the main building starting beginning this year 2021. And one remark of achievement, that's the last year we win that we call Business Excellence Award 2020 by EuroCham. That's just a figure of image, see our buildings. Milestone 2009 established, and the very first product we produce and export in the same year. From the 2019, 2011, we expand our production. We put SMT, surface mount technology in our operation. And we grow since 2014, 2015 with the sales in Vietnam. We put in the service repair, and we continue to use a new product every year, 2016 to 2021. Datalogic serve our customer in 4 main industry. First, in the retails. You can see in the retail, the food, in the non-food, in the hospitality, in the gas stations. In the manufacturing, that's manufacturing automotive, food and beverage, electronics, warehouse, logistics. In the transportation and logistics, in the airport, maybe you can see our product there, the courier and parcel. In the postal and logistics service. And the last one, industry where we serve is our customer in the healthcare, the pharmaceutical, in the hospital, in the pharmacies. That's some of our products. Is many of them we assemble in Vietnam. In the fixed retail scanner, in the serve in the customer in the retail, mobile computer, RFID, vision system, laser marking, stationary industrial scanner, handheld scanner, and sensor safety in everywhere industry in the world. You can find our products. Okay, so we come to the main part, high-tech park. I think Ms. Huynh already put many very valuable information to share with the audience today about the high-tech park. So here again, possibly I want to share that in Vietnam, high-tech park is a list of the product is listed in the encouraged for development based on our law high technologies. This is a product has a high added value, has a highly competitive, exportable, or able to substitute the import, and raising the national scientific technological capacity of Vietnam. Where the area prioritized is for development investment is where in the information technology, biotechnology, new material, and automation, and more. And for high-tech enterprises, the products is more than the 70% of the total revenue. More than that is environment friendly and energy saving manufacturing quality control method according to the standard Vietnam. If the Vietnam standard have not upgraded, so can use the international standard. In case of Datalogic Vietnam 12 years ago, maybe you can find some disinformation. We are the high-tech enterprise, but our products, Datalogic product, not listed in the those encouraged for development at the time. That's a special case that Datalogic 12 years ago, we get the certificate of the high-tech enterprise that we invested in the Saigon High-Tech Park. At that time, I have a committee by Science Technology of Ministry. They make decision that Datalogic have committed in the investment in R&D and our project investment, and the decision of the committee to grant us the high-tech enterprise. For those high-tech enterprise, probably you know that a lot of the tax incentive, that's no import tax. This is for all the material import to manufacture of the product for export. And we have the tax incentive plan in the CIT. The first 15 years is right at the 10%, and exemption for the first 4 years and the 50% of the next 9 years. That you already see this in the missing presentation. During the 12 years in our operation, the challenges, that's that we starting from zero, and now we have about 800 people in our operation. One of the most challenging I need to highlight, that's the turnover. Why we have a turnover? But you can see it in Vietnam, the market, very hot labor. People, about the high skilled people, they are moving around. They're looking at the other company and more challenging opportunity, more offer, so they move there. Because in the many companies like a university, they train people, and people work a short time and people leave, go to another company. That's a very headache for many, I believe, in the industrial area. We have the high turnover beginning of the time, both for the staff and the worker. So what we do to improve the situation, we building the core team from the beginning. The core team, we define that the key, that's engineering. We must have the very good people in engineering, in the process design, in the tooling, 𝐬𝐧 design, and the design of the industrial engineering. And we have to be success and to be continuous improvement, we must have the middle management team in place. And very connected to the source. And we have also the R&D from the very first year. That's the way to attract and retain the people. Here with some of the experiences we want to share with the team, with the audience. That we learn, we study, and we build a very competitive CMB plan for our people, and we show how we care for the people in our plant. We make the environment working as a really enjoyable to people to come, not only to work, but to enjoy and to share and to live. We exchange communication with 2 ways: listen to our employee and open mind and do the improvement according to their contribution. Two ways, not only we work with our staff, we work also on the levels of the people in the plant, come close to the even direct worker. And to build a good network and to have a ready of the next generation of the workforce, we have a very strong network with the university, and we build that internship plan to introduce and to also PRO picture of Datalogic, and for the people who invite CAM to join our community. Moving to supply chain of Datalogic in last 12 years. Here, that's a very brief map. You can see of the import and export of Datalogic in last year, 2020. And you can see very limited of we call the domestic contribution in our material. So most of the material you can see we import. For our high-tech manufacturing. To make a barcode scanner, we need many electronics. We need optics part, we need the mechanical parts, plastic, metal, and many things more. So most of the material in looking here, we do import from the Asia country. You can see 74%, and from the Europe, from the North America is another 19% more. And from Vietnam, that's a Vietnam supplier, and even the FDI in Vietnam, just around 7%. And we export our products where to mainly to the Europe, to the North America, 85%, and to back to the Asia country, Asia Pacific, 14%, and in Vietnam, to serve our customer in Vietnam, just around 1% of our product. We see a lot of the challenges in our supply chain development. Okay, we have a supply chain team worldwide to support the Vietnam. We have the team located in the regional, in the Europe, in America, in Asia, even in Vietnam, to drive the business and to drive the supply chain. And that's much depending, we believe, in the global footprint strategy of the many company. For our case, that we have the vendor development strategy. Since the beginning of the project, every new project, the sourcing committee have a whole in between the project team in R&D with the procurement to make decision of which supplier to run the business and why. Decision based on the project base is where the project footprint will be located in the region, by country, or by area. And at the very first phase, also very well defined what's the negotiation saving strategy based on the total cost ownership. And very important things, I believe, that the lead time strategy must be put in the discussion and decision. You look at the localization in Vietnam, where in which commodity field we struggle and where we are. So the packaging and the manuals is a very easy thing, simple thing. That's no doubt that we do have % in Vietnam. And move to the next commodity, that's a mechanical. I can tell you that the mechanical, including here the plastic, casting, metal, you can do more than Datalogic do here. We have more opportunity in Vietnam for this one. We have many, how to say, FDI invested in Vietnam we call that the support industry. They can serve you more in the localization. For the cables, I believe also moving to the good trend. Many kinds of the cable, from the harness wire to the overmount cable, the very complex cable here. Many makers in Vietnam, so the FDI from China, from Taiwan, they can do this. Moving to the more high tech, in the optics is a less player here in the supported industry, and in electronics is zero because of the, I believe not in Vietnam, manufacturer in Vietnam in the semiconductor and or the passive connector components still are very limited. And another fact that I believe due to the tax plan, we import of the electronic component with the 0% of the import tax is more easier than the company come here, they bring the material here, do the bonding warehouse, and they sell to the export company like Datalogic. So I mean that the electronics for the import these are more easier than the from in Vietnam. And in the Datalogic union products, is because of this the scanner, for example. So the percentage of the electronic inside the product is more than 50% already. So that's a contributing total of the localization of the you can see only around 7%. So moving to the operation during the our cooking, every company I believe also will see the taxation and the custom challenges. For taxation, that's the import tax. So we got already the advantage of high tech enterprise. So the import tax is not considered in no case. For the CIT, for the foreign contract, the tax. So that's you must study. And for the many VAT items, is we can reclaim a refund. For the custom process, that's another challenge. For every day you want to import and export, so the audit of the documents and the post clearance audit, that the things can headache every company. We have passing our for first 5 years, and we learned that Vietnam also encouraged company to move, and the Vietnam government general tax office I think sharing the practice with the development country in the AEO. AEO, the advantage is I think in your country, in Italy and in European is already well famous. In Vietnam, that Datalogic proud to be the one of the very first company in Vietnam to get the certification in AEO. To AEO today, that how to get the certification, that the company must have a minimum 2 years in operation to get the 2-year very clean, very compliance records. And the export and the import volume here, you can say that it depends on your business and the size and the business context. For FDI, I believe the numbers are around 100 million US above that you can register to this AEO plan. The company must have also the very clean e-customs, e-tax procedure, and all the payment, import and export must go through the banking. The company must also demonstrate a very strong internal control system, the compliance of accounting, and the auditing legislation, and demonstrate also the very excellent security management. Then you can submit, you can apply to the AEO plan, and the General Custom Department will review your document, and if you approve, they can come to do another audit, very tough audit at the site, and that certification that we did in 7 years ago. So what's the advantages of the AEO? That's a huge. That's a very, very good plan. The government, the tax office is grant to the company who get certification. that you can believe that we have total exemptions from the document and the physical inspection for all the import export. We have also the special process, custom clearance. Even we have the incomplete declaration, then we can substitute. The priority entitlement also when we're making the custom procedure, and because we have advantages to report directly to the General Custom Office, not to the local. So this also contribute a very good saving in the declaration cost to the local office tax, office custom. That is the very quick and very short our case of the one real sample of Datalogic high-tech enterprise in Saigon High-Tech Park. And I would like to thanks for your listening, and any question, I'm open to hear you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Chung. Thank you for your sharing. Is very much appreciated and valuable information for us and for all the audience today, because we all know that when a company decide to invest in a foreign company, in this case Vietnam, it's never a short-term journey. It's a long-term journey. We're talking about 7 years, 10 years, or even more,
yes,
or 15 years. So the experience and knowledge of the pioneer like Datalogic in this case is very valuable for the coming up potential investor of high-tech manufacturing in Vietnam. Thank you. And we would like to move to the Q&A session because we have received many questions for both of you. And I would like to start with the first question. So the first one is to Mr. Chung. We'd like to know if your industrial park development is combined with green development, for example, including optimizing water use, plant trees, and installation of rooftop solar system.
Yes. For Datalogic, as I put information in my slide, as a contribution from the Datalogic, that the green that we have built up the solar panel operation in both our two buildings, in the canteen and also in the main buildings. So 100% that's a daytime, that's operated by the solar panel. And I see that the trend in the area, in many companies also doing the investment like this, especially last year, 2020, that's we have the incentive energy price from the energy company, energy power company. So many company they put the investment. In our case, actually we invest zero dong, zero in this way, because we work with our supplier. They rent our roof and they put the investment there, and we just pay them the delta of the between the solar panel energy and the energy from the power company. Okay, so that's the way I believe that the company can show, and good also for the business, and so good so for the contribution to the environment, green.
Yes, thank you. And the second question we have is to Ms. Huynh. From your experience working with various foreign investors, what are the top demands, need, areas, service that they look for consultancy when they plan to enter the Vietnam market?
Thanks for your question, Anh. First, I will say it's a legal consulting thing. Can you hear me well now?
Yes.
Yeah, you know, like, yeah, especially for FDI investor, when you come to the new place, like Vietnam, developing countries, with full of uncertainties and complexities. Yeah, there's a full of uncertainties and complexities in the developing countries like Vietnam. So new investor normally they seek for a accredited partner, local partner, to walk them through the legal processes. Let's say for high-tech manufacturing things, if you want to get admitted into high-tech part, so you need to go through those web preparation and submission like technology report or IRC or ERC. So first, legal consultation. The second thing is that during this COVID-19, many investors come to us and they have to suspend their investment because they cannot fly to Vietnam. Yeah, we choose either we can work with them through online, but final decision haven't made. And at that time, for some team, for some company, if they see that their production line, their manufacturing ring cannot be delayed anymore, they can recruit the local team here, and they are seeking for, let's say, the low operational costs, such as invest less in facility, but more focus on their manufacturing. They want to do a test drive like for the first 3 years or 6 years, rather than spending a huge amount of money in land or the fixed access by construction things.
Thank you, Huyền.
And then I would like to add more on that. And supporting services is very important, like dealing with those environmental reports, how to get your facility, your factory soon to be in operation, like environmental report, firefighting system, then logistics, then import export, and most importantly is that the hiring the workforce, very important, especially for high-tech manufacturing.
Sure. And the next question we have for Mr. Chung is, according to your knowledge and experience, what is the trend for investment in high-tech manufacturing in 2021, 2022?
Honestly, I don't have the full data to answer this question, but as also many of you know, as also Mr. Hai presented in the beginning, we see the trend of the many company moving out from China.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in Vietnam, like China Plus One, that's one of the very highlight in the very showing the capable in resource, also in the cost investment and political support, and many things that I believe that can attract the company to think and to consider and to come and to invest in Vietnam, not including those company they move out from China. For those who the new investor coming, who are they? Many of them, as I know, also working in the support industry, and some also in the high technology, the investor. But the small, medium, and medium high large scale. From many from Japan, so Japan company, and from Singapore, from the Asia country, they invest to Vietnam. That's it.
Yes, thank you. And for Huyền, we have another question for you from Mr. Huỳnh from 𝐤𝐸 Vietnam. My partner is producing electronic spare part, looking for a space of 3,000 meters square, having a plan to extend our production in Vietnam. So what are key steps that I should take to set up project successful and quick into operation, less than 1 year?
Thank you, Mr. Hui. Yeah, the first step I would like to recommend you is that please contact me directly. Yes. Okay. Actually, the thing is that there are 3 key steps that you should take to start your investment or helping your partner to start their investment. Is that look for the local accredited business partner who can help you in terms of legal consultation, in terms of location search, in terms of working with the local authority. Yeah, just now you mentioned that your business partner producing electronic spare part. Okay, for just some quick information like this, I can see that the product can be into the ICT or electronic product, so can be considered as a high-tech supporting products, and you can apply your investment into high-tech part and enjoy the incentive. Just now we mentioned over like 50 years for the CIT 10%. So the first thing, key local partner to give you a good advice, legal consultation. The second thing, 3,000 square meter is I think that your investment is just considered small and medium size. Maybe you can provide some information in terms of capital fund, let's say like above 15 million USD or below 1. Yes. Extend, when you say that you're having a plan to extend in Vietnam, does mean are you currently in Vietnam or are you abroad now? If you already in Vietnam, I encourage you to come to us, Long Ho Industrial Park, both in Ho Chi Minh City and Da Nang, and we can have a talk. Then we would like to take a visit to your site and see how your production goes on, and we can have a further recommendation on the technology report preparation.
Yes, that's right. Because
thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Thank you, Hai.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks to you. Because also, according to our experience with the Italian investor for the last, let's say, 12 years, having the cooperation and support from the industrial park is fundamental at the beginning phase of setting up on the investment plan and budget and everything else, because they are the one who's working in the industry. They are the one who know, let's say, everything, almost everything that's going around, and can also help you out of the recruitment for the worker and help you to find the potential suppliers. So yes, and Long Ho is also a very good one in this. So please contact directly Ms. Huyen for your next step, because I'm sure that you are in a good hand. And I have another question for you, Mr. Chung. That according to you, is it true that the development of Vietnam in this field, high-tech manufacturing, is following a model of similarity with other countries like China, Korea, Malaysia?
Okay, I don't know details of this one, but I think China, Malaysia, and Korea, they have time developing many long ago before Vietnam. So Vietnam taking that kind of study. In Vietnam, the focusing on the government providing and how we say, we call that the priority and the encourage of the area where Vietnam want to attract the investment in the high-tech technology, or in the where have high value-added manufacturing. I think like many where in the world, like China and Korea and Malaysia, they have the very similar one. So Vietnam, the development in Vietnam, I believe that going not very exactly the same way, but very similar.
Yes, yes, thank you, Mr. Chung. And the next one is for Ms. Huynh. And so, according to your experience, how to collaborate renewable energy and green certificate for industry factory?
Hi, can you please repeat the question?
Yes, that how to cooperate renewable energy and green certificate for industrial factory.
Okay, that's an interesting and tough questions for us. How to incorporate the renewable energy, and yeah, okay, we can share more about our experience in promoting, in facilitating our industrial park as a green industry in Vietnam. Okay, here in Ho Chi Minh City, in Long An, actually, we're close to Ho Chi Minh City. Normally, we are certified as one of the top 3 green industry park in Vietnam, which is certified by the environmental ISO, and certification. And normally we spend around 20%, we reserve 20% of our land, total land, for the green area. And we encourage our tenants, those who lease our land, new factory, and like install their solar panel and sustain their own energy for the manufacturing. Also, 2019, 2 years ago, we installed the first solar panel into our ready-built factory T4, which is 10,000 square meter, the rooftop. This happened to our park in Long An, close to Ho Chi Minh City. The thing is, happened in Da Nang High-Tech Park is that actually, though we are just at the beginning of the time investing in Da Nang High-Tech Park, we committed 12 to 15% of our land for the green area reserve. And also the new ready-built factory facility, which is around 10,000 square meter this year, should all be committed with a solar panel and putting the solar panel on our rooftop. So I
Yes.
hope that my sharing
Yes. Yeah, so it has been we still have many more questions, but still it has been 1 hour and a half already passed by, and we really appreciate that the speaker, the 2 speakers, has been spending a lot of time with us today and with the audience. And on to the audience, if you don't mind, we would also share the contact of Ms. Huynh from Long Hao Corporation and Mr. Chung from Datalogic on our post later in this webinar on our channel, so you can have more contact and detail of them. And in case you want to contact them directly, please feel free to raise the question. And it is fine if any of you from the audience want to or would like also to have the presentation from Long Hao and from Datalogic, please, and if it's shareable, of course, because we need also the approval from Datalogic and from Long Ho to share. If it's shareable, then we'd love also to share your presentation with the audience. So I don't know if Mr. Chung and Huynh, would you like to have something to share with the audience before we finish our webinar today?
Yes, you can see our link contacts in the LinkedIn, or can leave an email and the phone. So when audience, you have more questions, can contact us so we can exchange more. Yes.
Thank you. And Huynh, please.
Yeah, from my part, as a person who's in the front line trying to promote investment into Vietnam, so I would like to share the message is that Vietnam is right now is safe, resilient, and worth living. So even during COVID-19, you may suspend your investment decision make final decision. But I would like to encourage you and your team, your company, to consider Vietnam as a high-tech manufacturing go-to destination.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much
Yes.
for. Thank you, Mr. Chung, and Ms. Huynh for your time, for your presentation, for your sharing knowledge and experience. As an organizer, we appreciate it a lot, and also the audience today is very numerous. We have seen also the very high level of number of participation, and we are very looking forward that the information that you have today in this webinar is useful for you in your project in the future, especially if you are interested or you are thinking or you're planning to invest in Vietnam, especially in high-tech technology. And please feel free to contact us, the Chamber of Commerce or the Industrial Park Long Ho, for further information in case you need some more consultancy services or even sharing the knowledge that we have in order to have you better prepare of your investment plan in Vietnam in the next coming year. Thank you very much for your time, and we are very looking forward to receive you and your investment in Vietnam in the next coming year. So thank you very much.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you.
So
Thank
come
you,
to
everyone.
Vietnam.
Thank you, the same. Come to Vietnam. And if
Thank
you're
you.
already in Vietnam, extend your investment.
Bye-bye. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.